Life will break you. It will test your heart, your mind, your soul. You will lose people. You will lose yourself. But the question is, will you stay broken, or will you become mentally unbreakable? Being mentally unbreakable doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means pain doesn't control you anymore. Life doesn't ask for your permission before it hurts you. It just happens. One day, everything is fine, and the next day, everything changes. You lose something. You lose someone. You lose the person you used to be. And in that moment, you feel weak. You feel lost. You feel broken. But here's the truth. You are stronger than that moment. Strength is not when nothing affects you. Strength is when everything affects you, and you still stand up. Being mentally unbreakable means you keep going, even when you're tired, even when you're hurting, even when nobody understands your pain. Because you understand something others don't. Pain is not the end of you. Pain is the beginning of your transformation. Every scar you carry is proof you survived. Every dark moment you faced made you stronger. You didn't come this far just to break now. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still fighting. And that means you are becoming mentally unbreakable. Pain is part of life. It's not something you choose. It's something that finds you. No one escapes it. No one is immune. One day, everything feels normal. You wake up, you breathe, you exist without thinking twice. And then something happens, something changes, something breaks. Maybe it's a loss. Maybe it's a failure. Maybe it's a moment when everything you believed in disappears. And suddenly, you're not the same person anymore. Pain has a way of entering your life quietly. It doesn't knock. It doesn't ask for permission. It just arrives. And when it does, it changes the way you see everything. It changes the way you see yourself. You start to question your strength. You start to question your worth. You start to wonder if you're strong enough to keep going. And in those moments, you feel fragile. You feel exposed. You feel human. But that's the truth most people don't understand. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. It shows you parts of yourself you never knew existed. It reveals your depth. It reveals your resilience. It reveals your ability to survive. Because survival is not easy. Waking up when your heart is heavy is not easy. Smiling when you feel broken is not easy. Continuing when everything inside you wants to stop is not easy. But you do it anyway. And that matters. Every moment you survive pain, you become stronger. Not stronger in a way the world can always see, but stronger in a way that matters. Inside, pain reshapes you. It removes illusions. It removes weakness. It removes the version of you that depended on comfort. And it replaces it with someone more aware, someone more grounded, someone more unbreakable. You begin to understand that life was never meant to be easy. It was meant to test you. It was meant to challenge you. It was meant to transform you. Pain is not the end of you. Pain is the beginning of a new version of you, a version that knows darkness, but chooses to keep walking toward the light. You may feel broken now. You may feel lost now, but this is not where your story ends. This is where your strength begins. Because pain doesn't mean you're weak. Pain means you're alive. And as long as you're alive, you have the power to rise. Mental strength comes from struggle. Mental strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is built in the moments when life stops being easy. It is built in the moments when everything feels heavy. It is built in the moments when you have every reason to quit, but you don't. Struggle changes you. It strips away your comfort. It removes your certainty. It forces you to face yourself without distractions, without illusions. And in those quiet, difficult moments, you discover who you really are. Not the version of you that exists when everything is going well, but the version of you that exists when everything is falling apart. Anyone can smile when life is easy. Anyone can feel strong when nothing is wrong. But real strength is revealed when you are standing alone, carrying pain no one else can see. It's revealed when you wake up and your first feeling isn't hope, it's exhaustion. It's revealed when your heart is tired, but you still choose to move forward. Struggle doesn't make you weaker. It makes you aware of your resilience, aware of your endurance, aware of the quiet strength that lives inside you. Because strength is not loud. It doesn't need attention. It doesn't need recognition. It exists in silence. It exists in the decision to continue, even when continuing hurts. There will be moments when you feel like you have nothing left, moments when your mind tells you to stop, moments when giving up feels easier than fighting. But those moments, those exact moments, are where mental strength is born. Every second you refuse to quit, you are training your mind. Every moment you endure, you are building something inside yourself that cannot be taken away. You are building resilience. You are building discipline. You are building an unbreakable mind. Struggle teaches you that you are not defined by comfort. You are defined by endurance. You begin to understand that pain is temporary, but strength is permanent. And one day, you will look back at the moments that almost broke you, and you will realize they didn't break you. They built you. They created a version of you that is stronger, calmer, and harder to destroy. You will realize that your struggle was not your enemy. It was your preparation. Because mental strength is not created in perfect conditions. It is created in chaos. It is created in pain. It is created when you choose to stand in moments that were designed to make you fall. You must keep moving forward. There will be moments in your life when everything inside you tells you to stop. Moments when the weight feels too heavy. Moments when the pain feels endless. Moments when you don't see a reason to keep going. And in those moments, standing still feels easier. Giving up feels easier. Letting go feels easier. But strength is not found in what is easy. Strength is found in movement. Even the smallest step forward is a victory. Even the slowest progress is still progress. Because moving forward is not about speed. It's about decision. It's about choosing not to stay where the pain found you. Life doesn't always give you clear paths. Sometimes the road disappears. Sometimes the direction is unclear. Sometimes you walk through darkness without knowing where it leads. And that uncertainty can make you feel lost. But being lost does not mean you are finished. It means you are still in motion. It means your story is still unfolding. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to be fearless. You don't have to be perfect. You only have to keep going, one step, one breath, one moment at a time. There will be days when your energy is gone, days when your heart feels tired, days when your mind is filled with doubt. But even on those days, you can still move. You can still choose not to quit. Because every step forward creates distance between you and the version of you that almost gave up. Every step forward reminds you that you are still in control. Pain may slow you down. Fear may shake you. Loss may change you. But none of those things have the power to stop you unless you allow them to. Movement is power. Movement is hope. Movement is proof that you are stronger than the moment you are in. You don't need to run. You don't need to rush. You just need to continue. Because the people who become mentally unbreakable are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who keep walking even after they fall. They rise, they breathe, they move. Again and again. And with every step forward, they become someone pain can no longer control. So keep going. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Because forward is the only direction where strength lives. Pain transforms you. Pain has the power to change you. Not in a loud way. Not in a way the world can always see. But in a quiet, permanent way deep inside. It enters your life without warning. It interrupts your peace. It takes away the version of you that once felt safe. And in that moment, you feel like you've lost something you can never get back. Because you have. You've lost the person you were before the pain. But what most people don't realize is pain doesn't just take from you. It gives something back. It gives you awareness. It gives you depth. It gives you strength you never needed before. Pain forces you to face reality without comfort. It removes the illusions that once protected you. It shows you how fragile things can be. And that realization changes you. You begin to see the world differently. You begin to see yourself differently. You stop depending on things that can disappear. You stop expecting life to always be easy. You stop believing that strength comes from comfort. Because now you understand something deeper. Strength comes from survival. Every painful moment you endure reshapes your mind. It teaches you patience. It teaches you endurance. It teaches you how to stand, even when you feel like collapsing. Pain slows you down. It makes you reflect. It makes you grow. And growth is not always comfortable. Growth can hurt. Growth can feel like losing parts of yourself. But what you are really losing is the version of you that was easier to break. Pain replaces that version with someone stronger, someone calmer, someone more resilient. You begin to realize that you don't need perfect conditions to survive. You don't need constant happiness to keep going. You only need yourself. And that realization is power. Because once you understand that you can survive pain, you stop fearing it. You stop running from it. You stop allowing it to control your decisions. Instead, you carry it with you. Not as a weakness, but as a reminder that you faced something difficult and you didn't disappear. You remained, you endured, you survived. Pain did not destroy you. It transformed you. It turned your fear into courage. It turned your weakness into resilience. It turned your suffering into strength. And one day, you will look back at the pain that once felt unbearable, and you will realize it created the strongest version of you. Not because it was easy, but because you refused to let it define your end. You allowed it to define your growth. And that is how pain transforms you into someone unbreakable. Survival is proof of your strength. You have survived things no one knows about, battles that were fought in silence, nights that felt endless, moments when the weight of everything felt too heavy to carry. And yet you are still here. You are still breathing. You are still standing. That alone is proof of your strength. Survival is not something people celebrate enough. The world celebrates victories. It celebrates success. It celebrates the finish line. But it rarely celebrates the struggle it took to get there. It rarely celebrates the person who simply refused to disappear, because survival doesn't always look powerful from the outside. Sometimes it looks like exhaustion. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like someone who is trying their best just to make it through the day. But inside, something incredible is happening. Inside, you are building endurance. Inside, you are proving to yourself that you can withstand more than you ever imagined. Every painful moment you survived added something to you. Every loss you endured made you stronger. Every time you thought you couldn't continue, but did, you rewrote your limits. You proved that pain does not have the final say. You proved that darkness does not last forever. You proved that even when everything felt broken, you were not. Survival changes the way you see yourself. It replaces doubt with quiet confidence. It replaces fear with understanding. It replaces weakness with resilience. You begin to realize that strength is not about avoiding pain. It's about facing it. It's about enduring it. It's about continuing even when you don't know how, because survival is not luck. It is decision. It is the decision to breathe when breathing feels heavy. It is the decision to stand when standing feels impossible. It is the decision to exist when everything inside you feels tired. And every time you make that decision, you become stronger. Not in a way that needs attention, but in a way that cannot be broken. You carry proof of your strength within you. Proof that you endured. Proof that you survived. Proof that you did not give up, even when giving up felt easier. You are not weak for struggling. You are strong for surviving. And one day, you will understand that the fact you are still here is not ordinary. It is extraordinary, because survival is not the end of your story. It is the foundation of your strength. It is the evidence that no matter what tried to break you, it didn't succeed. You decide whether you break or rise. There comes a moment in every life when you are faced with a choice. Not a choice anyone else can make for you. Not a choice the world can make for you. A choice only you can make. The choice to break or to rise. Life will test you. It will push you into places you never expected to be. It will show you pain you never asked for. It will create moments where everything feels uncertain. And in those moments, you will feel fragile. You will feel the weight of doubt. You will hear the voice in your mind telling you that maybe you are not strong enough. That maybe this is where your story ends. But that voice is not your truth. It is your fear. And fear does not decide who you become. You do. You decide whether pain becomes your prison or your preparation. You decide whether loss becomes your ending or your beginning. You decide whether struggle defines your weakness or reveals your strength. Because breaking is not something that happens to you automatically. Breaking is something that happens when you stop choosing to stand. And rising is something that happens when you refuse to stay down. You may fall. You may lose your direction. You may lose parts of yourself along the way. But falling is not the same as ending. Falling is part of rising. Every time you stand back up, you are making a decision to continue, a decision to resist the forces that tried to silence your strength, a decision to become someone who cannot be defined by pain. Rising does not mean you are no longer afraid. It means you move forward even with fear. It means you continue even with doubt. It means you believe in your ability to endure even when nothing feels certain. The world does not determine your strength. Your circumstances do not determine your strength. Your past does not determine your strength. Your decision does. The decision to breathe, the decision to stand, the decision to keep moving forward no matter how slow. Because every time you choose to rise, you become stronger than the moment that tried to break you. You become someone who understands that strength is not given, it is chosen. And right now, in this moment, you have that choice. You can stay in the pain, or you can rise beyond it. You can remain where you were broken, or you can become someone unbreakable. The decision has always been yours, and it always will be. Life will test you. It will push you to your limits. It will show you pain you never expected. There will be moments when you feel broken, moments when you feel lost, moments when you feel like you can't continue. But look at yourself. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still standing. That means something inside you refused to give up. That means something inside you is stronger than the pain. Being mentally unbreakable doesn't mean you never fall. It means you always rise. Every scar you carry is proof of your strength. Every struggle you survived is proof of your resilience. Every moment you kept going is proof of who you are becoming. You are not weak for feeling pain. You are strong for continuing despite it. And one day you will realize nothing that tried to break you succeeded. Because you didn't quit. You didn't disappear. You didn't surrender. You became stronger. You became wiser. You became mentally unbreakable.